could help.
Please, just let me go.
Back through that living room, we can pass the stairs we used to get down here to find a support drone. We can realign his sensors and activate him to have him join the coming battle. And sure enough, continuing west-northwest, we find stiff opposition from aliens. Moving forward, we see the aliens have blocked the northern passage with a barrier. We could destroy it or sneak around it by opening a door to the west. But we find this room heavily guarded. And more aliens were hiding in the adjoining room. This is one of the most difficult fights in the game, because we get rushed by 6 or so aliens and have to fight the ceiling-mounted turrets. With the aliens dead, we can sneak back into that room and try and get rid of the turret. Whew, and at last we can take a breather. Immediately to the right, we find a control that gives us captive recorded log number 23.
Please, just let me go.
Oh my gosh, what was that machine doing to the poor man's insides? Note that this is the final alien captive recorded log. So if you got them all before this one, you are rewarded with the Alien Archivist achievement. We can access a terminal to the northwest to remotely overload turret circuitry. That gets rid of a ceiling-mounted turret in the next room. Heading inside, we find some alien biogel and crystals scattered all over the ground. Detonating that turret made it harder for us to loot it all. When done, we can head back out to the main room and continue north through a door. This is the room all those aliens were hiding in when we first entered the last one. And here we find a ceiling-mounted turret. We can loot a chest on the ground here, some crystals hiding behind a table to the north, and then we head through an eastern door, where we can access another wall-mounted terminal to remotely overload more turrets. Heading into the hallway, we can activate a nearby idle robot, and we see that we've arrived on the other side of that mobile force field projection. We can go ahead and destroy it from behind. But that means to continue, we need to turn around and go north. We see a healing archway to the left, and when ready, we can go up the stairs, turn left down a hallway, and into a room where we find more abominations. The drone we released earlier was no match for the abominations. We can loot the bodies we find here, and then head up some stairs to the next catwalk level. Here we see a room to the east with windows, and through the door, more abominations. Here we find a small room, but before we can get looting, we hear a noise from behind. Nothing like a sneak critical to make short work of him. Inside we find crystals and biogel on the ground, and then 2 shelves, but neither have anything good. On the other side, however, we find some alien epoxy, and then lying on the ground, we find a chest. Well, this is a dead end, so to move forward, we need to head west towards that abomination we just sniped. Heading down the hallway, we see a healing archway in the middle of the room between 2 doors that lead to a teleporter, the teleportation matrix to the bridge. The bridge is our final destination. It is here where we will confront this ship's captain, and where the fates of our companions will be written. We'll tackle the bridge and confront the captain in our next episode. I know this is going to be frustrating, but I take Sundays off, which means I'm not going to have the episode for you tomorrow. But never fear, I'll have the next episode ready for you bright and early on Tuesday morning. So be sure to tune in for that. I publish many videos every single week here on my channel, so if you want to make sure that you don't miss the next one, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I've got a t-shirt shop with custom, unique designs you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a wide array of colors and in a variety of both men's and women's sizes. They also come in a bunch of other gear, mugs, posters, prints, pillows. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you Tuesday morning, bright and early, for episode 9. In our last episode, we slaughtered the aliens in their own living quarters. After clearing that level of the ship, we found a teleporter to the bridge. This is where we must now go to confront the captain. On the other side of the teleporter, we find ourselves in a small room. We see a door to the left with a button, but the button appears to have no effect. But peering out the nearby window, we can talk the aliens on the bridge to open the door for us. On the body of the captain is a unique weapon, but we don't have time to talk about it now. For before we can loot him, that big, angry alien hologram head appears before us. 2 more aliens teleport in behind us. And as soon as they die, our companions finally arrive.
Holy shit, where did that come from?
Looking out to space, we see another ship arrive above us. This appears to be a sister ship of Mothership Zeta. Oh no. We may have killed the captain, but now we've got to deal with this invader. Thankfully, Sally knows where to begin.
Wow! This looks just like the bridge on Captain Cosmos. I know what to do. Soma, you go stand over there. Mr. Elliot, you're there. Olsen, you can be Jangles the Moon Monkey. And I get to aim the Death Ray.
I ain't no goddamn space monkey.
Heading towards the controls, we can check in with Sally.
Stella Skyfire reporting for duty. She's Captain Cosmos' second in command, at least for the first few episodes.
Can we hit that ship with our death ray?
I think I have that ship targeted, but you'll have to find the firing control.
All right, get a move on it.
Aye, aye. Look, that must be the captain's chair. You should sit there. You can be Captain Cosmos.
It looks like they're dropping shields to prepare for a big shot.
We destroyed the death ray of this spaceship, so we must be using an alternative backup death ray. Because with these controls, we can fire it at the invader. The alien spaceship rocks us with volley after volley. Directly in front of us, we see the fire button. We know that our death ray is fully charged and ready when we see the blue hologram of a death ray hovering over the hologram of the alien ship. The alien ship hologram also tells us important information. The Wi-Fi broadcast signal at the top actually tells us which level the enemy's shields are at. 1 line is lowest, 2 lines is medium, 3 lines means that their maximum shields are deployed. And above that is a health meter with 4 quadrants telling us how close we are to destroying the ship. To the left, we find the controls for Mothership Zeta's shields and death ray. Initially, we see that the middle button is depressed. This gives us medium shields and gives our death ray medium power. If we press the button to the far left, this raises our shields to maximum, but weakens our death ray to its lowest setting. And if we press the button on the far right, this weakens our shields to the lowest setting, but maximizes power to our death ray, causing it to hit harder.
I've got a lock on their ship. Fire when ready.
To fire, we tag the big button before us. But periodically during our space fight, the alien ship will teleport aliens onto the bridge. We only have Paulson here defending us, but he can become easily overwhelmed. We must therefore periodically stand from the controls and help Paulson. With the bridge clear, we can check in with Soma at the controls.
What do you need?
What does this thing do?
Looks like I'm at the helm. I'll have these controls figured out in no time at all.
All right, get a move on it.
Got it.
Heading on over to Elliot.
Sir?
What have you got there, Elliot?
Oh, man, I don't know. A teleport jammer, maybe? Right. Spaceships have those, don't they? Yeah, sure. A teleport jammer.
All right, get a move on it.
Yes, sir.
Checking in with Paulson after our first wave.
Hey,
How you holding up, Paulson?
I could use one of those stim packs if you don't mind.
Sure, bud, here you go. Now get a move on it. He'll use the stim packs we give him. It's important to keep him supplied throughout the remainder of this battle. Sitting back down in the captain's chair, we can again fire the death ray at the enemy ship.
Never thought I'd get to do something like this.
But then the power goes out.
Shit, they hit the core and sapped out power. Look around for some buttons or something to restart the generators.
And just as we stand up, more aliens teleport to the bridge.
This ship's half dead, and if that death ray isn't online soon, we're dead right along with it.
With the bridge secure, we now have to restart the generators. To do so, we tag a generator control button to the left of the captain's chair.
Looks like it's working. Keep up whatever you're doing.
We have to restart 4 generators, so after tagging the next button, we then walk to the opposite side of the bridge to punch the final 2. With that, the lights come back on as we sit back down in the captain's chair. The key here is to time our attacks appropriately. We need to make sure that our shields are set to maximum. Immediately after they hit us, we reduce power to the shields and set the death rate to maximum power. Then, we hit the enemy. After we land a strike, we divert power back to the shields in preparation for the next enemy attack. Then we just rinse and repeat. Shields up, enemy attacks. Shields down, we attack. Shields up. During a lull in the action, we can check in with the crew to see how everyone's doing. How are you holding up, Sergeant?
I have these buttons pointing at that big blob. I think that's right.
Status report?
Who the hell knows? These controls are just a mess.
How's the jammer holding?
It's holding fine, for now, I guess. It should help with the bastards teleporting onto the ship.
Wait, did anyone hear that?
Little busy here, darling.
What did you hear, Sally?
Oh, it's the samurai! We should let him in.
Fine, let the Chinaman in. Could use his arm in here if it gets rough.
Actually, I think he's from Japan.
As you say. Kindly invite the Oriental gentleman with the sword to join us. Now!
Sally runs over to operate the door control.
Hello, samurai! Glad you're still alive.
Toshiro joins us just in the nick of time. For immediately afterwards, we get attacked by a swarm of heavily armored aliens. This will likely kill Paulson if he's by himself, but Toshiro cuts through these aliens like a hot knife through butter.
赤いの勝ち負けは攻めと攻めの狭間にある。
When the bridge is secure, we can sit back down in the captain's chair, just in time to fire off another volley. But then,
They hit something big. Shields and Elliot are down.
Elliot's control is completely destroyed. We can no longer block them from teleporting aliens onto the bridge, and so he pulls out his rifle to help Paulson and Toshiro.
70%. We need to end this fast.
We're trying to end it fast, but with Elliot's console destroyed, we get rushed by wave after wave of aliens. We have to fire off a shot, raise our shields, and then race back to help our companions.
I push this, it doesn't do anything. I push that, it doesn't... Oh, hey, that did something.
The aliens continue to rock our ship, but our shields buy us time.
Yeah, teach them a lesson.
20% and plummeting. We're losing systems like crazy. Damn it, their shields are back up at max.
We recover from a blast just in time to stand up and find aliens on the bridge. Racing back to the captain's control, we can fire off a shot. Before sitting back down in our chair,
Why won't you work?
This is like playing a hollow game, only better.
oh, but they teleport more behind us.
I got something special for you.
If we leave repelling the aliens solely up to our companions, they're likely to die. So we have no choice but to abandon the controls and fight off the invaders. Now it is possible to lose this battle. If we were too aggressive and we sent maximum power to the death ray at the expense of the shields, or if we were too timid and we sent maximum power to the shields at the expense of the death ray, then it's possible that the invading ship could destroy us. But if we time everything just right, the invading ship explodes in a huge ball of gas. We complete the quest. This galaxy ain't big enough, and its burning wreckage falls slowly to Earth. When we've finished gazing at the spectacle, we can check in with Sally.
Yeah, we won! I knew we could do it! I knew we could beat them! You're even better than Captain Cosmos!
Thanks for all your help, Sally. We couldn't have done it without you.
I know. And you're very welcome.
What will you do now?
I think I'm gonna stay here for a while. I don't think I like it much down there anymore. And there's still a bunch of the ship I haven't seen. I'll tell you what, if I find anything really neat, I'll bring it to you. Okay?
We find Soma gazing at the sight.
Nice work, kid. If there's more of them out there, that'll make them think twice about attacking us again. And it looks like you're in charge of your very own spaceship. Well, what's left of it anyway. Congrats.
Thanks for your help, Soma. Couldn't have done it without you.
That's right. If it weren't for me, you'd be sitting in a holding cell or lying on some crazy operating table right now. You owe me big time, kid.
What will you do now?
I'm gonna see about getting off this thing. Head back to the wasteland with some new toys, maybe carve out a place for myself. Literally, if I have to. Odds are we won't be bumping into each other again, so I just wanted to say thanks.
This has been one hell of a ride, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Not really something I'm interested in doing again.
I'll be going then.
Sure thing.
So Soma plans to go back to Earth. Now we recall that at various points throughout this adventure, we learn that Soma is a bit ashamed of her past, and that's because she's a slaver from Paradise Falls. The Fallout 3 official strategy guide tells us this. With this knowledge, some of her previous comments make more sense, like her comment about irony when we first met her, and the guilt she expressed in her abduction holotape. Knowing that she's a Paradise Falls slaver, this is our last opportunity to kill her. Perhaps by killing her we would be doing the world a favor. But I like to think that this whole experience has taught Soma a valuable lesson. After all, she didn't attack us when she found us naked and helpless beside her in the holding cell, and she encouraged us and worked hard alongside us throughout this entire ordeal. So I left her alive, and I like to think that she goes back to Earth a little bit wiser, a little bit more mature, and chooses to live her life as an ethical mercenary or scavenger instead of going back to the slave pens at Paradise Falls. We can then check in with Elliot.
We did it! We really did it! Oh man, I can't believe it! I never thought we'd make it. You're the best, the absolute best. I'd be dead without you, or worse. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your help, Elliot. Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, come on. We both know you could have.
What will you do now?
I don't know. I don't really have a place down there anymore, do I? Doesn't sound like it'd suit me very well. Think I'll stick around here for a while. See if I can't figure out some of this technology.
Do you think they'll ever come back?
Boy, I sure hope not. But at least we know what to do with them, right?
All right, I'll be going.
We'll be here if you need us.
Checking in with Paulson.
So, it's done. I'm not much for talking, so I'll get to it. I owe you. Without you, I'd be dead. Or worse. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna see if I can find a way off this thing.
And that's it. We do not find an opportunity to try to convince him to stay. But then Elliot finds something.
Hey, I thought you should know someone must have hit a button during the fight just now. If I understood the display correctly, I think we sort of launched a homing beacon of some kind down to the surface. Landed just outside D.C. I wouldn't mention it, except that I think, like I said, I'm not sure. I think it's a way to get back to Earth. Seems like there's a teleporter in the captain's quarters. I mean, I guess they're your quarters now. So I guess you can go home if you want. Oh, don't worry, I'll stick around up here and keep an eye on things.
We learn later that the person who pushed the button was none other than Sally.
Hey, guess what? You can go home! I was looking at the controls on the bridge here, and most of it doesn't make any sense to me, because it's in that weird alien language. But there's this one thing I saw, and I think maybe I accidentally pushed a button while we were fighting that big ship. And I think maybe the button I pushed sent some kind of a thing back down to Earth. I didn't mean to, honest. But this is a good thing. I think now you can use the teleporter in the captain's quarters to get back to Earth. Pretty great, isn't it? Anyway, I just thought I should tell you.
Toshiro has many different things to say. Checking in with him.
結末に始まりを見る。それまでは動じてはならん。目的なき行いはただの風。決意ある行いは笛の調べとなる。言葉では魂を生かせず、真摯も終わるのみ。
Staring out the window, we see the remains of a burning alien ship falling towards Earth. It disappears, and I think it burns up in the atmosphere before hitting the planet. On this lower level by the observation windows, we find two chests, one on either side of the stairs. We can now go back upstairs to meet the corpse of Mothership Zeta's captain. On his corpse, we find alien power modules and cells, and the unique weapon, Alien Captain's Sidearm. The Alien Captain's Sidearm uses alien power modules, not power cells, unlike other alien blasters. Also, unlike alien blasters, it shoots out energy like a shotgun. Every time we pull the trigger, it shoots 6 beams at the cost of 3 rounds. So it does burn through alien power modules. Like the Metal Blaster from the Pit DLC and like Paulson's revolver, each of the 6 energy beams has the chance to land a critical strike on the enemy, which means characters with high luck and high critical chance are likely to land multiple crits with each attack. But this chance only works outside of VATS. Inside of VATS, you can can only land one critical strike. It does the exact same amount of damage as the alien atomizer, 35, split between 6 beams, but it has way more spread than the alien atomizer, with a spread of whopping 3.0 compared to the alien atomizer's 0. This is, of course, because it's practically a shotgun. When done exploring the bridge, we can see if we can find that teleporter in the captain's quarters that Sally talked about. Heading to the far southern part of the ship, we find the captain's quarters, the teleportation matrix to the capital wasteland. We arrive right next to an alien homing beacon. This must be the beacon that both Sally and Elliot told us they accidentally launched from the ship. We find ourselves in that same crash site that we stumbled upon so many days ago. The wrecked alien ship is, of course, gone. We saw the aliens pick it up and put it in the hangar. But if we walk over this big mound of garbage, we see that the aliens left behind the corpse of the ship's pilot. And on the ground next to him, we find a whole bunch of alien power cells and a unique weapon, the Alien Blaster. The Alien Blaster was available in the base game of Fallout 3, but after installing Mothership Zeta, we don't get it until after this DLC, so I'm going to cover it as part of this DLC. The Alien Blaster is one of the most powerful weapons in the game because each shot is a guaranteed critical hit. The critical percent multiplier for this weapon is 100, making it impossible to not land a critical hit. It does electrical damage, like Jingwei's shock sword and the captain's sidearm, and has a base damage of 100, which is huge, much larger than any other weapon we find in this DLC. It has an action point cost of 20, bringing the damage per action point up to 5, deals 100 critical damage, bringing its DPS up to 300. The drawback to this weapon is that it uses alien power cells, a much more rare ammunition. This is why I made such a big deal about finding all of the alien power cells on Mothership Zeta. We can walk away with thousands upon thousands of alien power modules, the ammunition used for all other weapons on the mothership, but there is a maximum of 1,152 alien power cells in the entire game, including all expansions. 362 in the base game, 365 on Mothership Zeta, and 425 with Broken Steel installed. So this weapon is best used for special occasions. We also notice that we find a new fast travel icon on our Pip-Boy. The alien homing beacon now has its own icon. If we fast travel back here, we can activate the alien homing beacon at any time to travel back to Mothership Zeta. The next time we arrive at the ship, we can talk to Sally. Hey Sally, do you have anything to report?
Oh yeah, here, you can have this stuff. I found it when I was looking around the rest of the ship.
We can do this every day or so, and she'll give us a random alien item she found on the ship. So how's life in space?
Pretty neat. I'm still exploring some of the rest of the ship using the vents. There's a bunch of places I never saw before.
We can ask her this question a couple more times, and she has different responses.
I saw a shooting star out the window. I'm okay. It's fun to just sit and look at the Earth sometimes.
Hey Sally, where's Paulson?
Oh, he left. He used the teleporter after you did. Said he didn't have any reason to stay. I don't know where he was going to go. I'm going to miss him. He was quiet. But I think it's because he was really sad.
We can ask the same thing of Elliot.
He took off just after you did. Said there was no reason for him to hang around here. That he might as well go see what it was like down there. I wasn't about to tell him he couldn't go.
We can turn this ship upside down, but we never find Paulson. He left. He went back down to Earth. But he's a cowboy from another age. He's likely still devastated over the loss of his wife and child. It makes me worry about him. I wonder how he'll be able to survive in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. We never see him again, but I like to think that Paulson found peace and was able to find some sort of happiness with the rest of his life. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him again someday. We discover that Elliot can give us a random alien weapon once a day. Hey, I could use some more of those alien weapons. Do you have any?
Yep, sure thing.
And he continues to transform our alien biochel into advanced biochel. But sadly, he no longer makes cryo grenades or cryo mines for us. We see that the controls still work. We can fire the death ray, but thankfully it's pointed far off into space, so we can't strike Earth. And we see that Toshiro is sticking around. If we try to explore the rest of the ship, we find that most of it is locked to us. Heading through the door that Toshiro used to reach the bridge, we find a teleportation matrix to the living quarters, but we see that the teleporter is powered down. So turning around, we can head towards the captain's quarters. We find a teleportation matrix to the engineering core, and the only one left is the teleportation matrix to the capital wasteland. In the captain's quarters, we do find a weapons workbench and a stasis chamber, but this is really tiny. It's alien-sized, and so we can't use it. If we activate the teleportation matrix to the engineering core, we find a few aliens remaining. We can now go around the engineering core and loot everything we missed. We can walk through the steamworks, which eventually brings us back to the holding cells, but sadly we can't access any other parts of the ship. This is why earlier in the DLC, I said that we should store everything that we want to keep here in the engineering core, because this is one of the few places we can come back and visit. Strangely enough, if we do visit the steamworks, upon returning to the bridge, we see that Toshiro has vanished. So if we want to keep him on the ship, we have to make sure to never enter the steamworks. I don't know why Bethesda made this choice, but thankfully there are plenty of mods out there that open up the ship, allowing us to explore it after completing the DLC. The one I used in my gameplay is All Access Pass Mothership Zeta by El Polo Azul. I link to it in the description below. With this mod installed, we can loot everything we missed and find all of the alien captive recorded logs we missed, even after completing the primary quest in the game. And that is the full story of Mothership Zeta, our one and only up-close and personal encounter with aliens in the Fallout universe. We walk away from this experience with a treasure trove of new gear and a richer understanding of the Fallout universe. So what are your thoughts on Mothership Zeta? I had a blast with this DLC and had so much fun putting together this series for you. But I'd love to hear what you have to say, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I have one more episode in this series. In our next video, we're going to do a big video on all the loot. So if you missed any of the videos in this series, or you weren't paying attention to the loot, don't worry. I'm going to cover each unique piece of loot that we get by playing Mothership Zeta in tomorrow's video. So stay tuned for that. I publish a whole bunch of videos each and every week here on my channel, so if you want to find out what I publish next, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I've got a brand new shirt in the shop, folks. Cows. We've got cows. I tried to get this one done earlier so that I could show it off in my earlier videos, but hey, at least I got the shirt done before this series ended. We can celebrate the Zetan abduction of Brahman with the shirt that shows off the junk chute in the cargo hold. The design comes on shirts in a wide array of colors and in a variety of both men's and women's sizes. You can also get this design on a bunch of other stuff, mugs, posters, prints, pillows, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with episode 10. We did it! We finally completed the entire Mothership Zeta DLC for Fallout 3, and now we can reap its rich rewards. I covered all of the loot as we came upon it during my series of this DLC, but in case you missed an episode or if you'd rather just get to the rewards, I'll cover everything new we get from Mothership Zeta here. We'll start with weapons. The first item we ever find is the shock baton. We get one while fleeing with Soma from our holding cell. We find it on the corpse of the alien that opens the door that lets us out, and aliens all over the ship carry these. It's probably the most common weapon we'll find. If you have a high enough repair skill, you should be able to make a fully repaired shock baton before you even leave the holding cells. The shock baton works a lot like the police baton from Earth, though they differ in that they do 2 electrical damage every second for 5 seconds. They have a base damage per attack of 20, but since they're pretty fast, they have a damage per second of 48.2, making it a pretty decent melee weapon, but not quite as nice as my sword from Operation Anchorage. There's a unique version of the shock baton called the Electro Suppressor. We find it in the engine room. In the room on the other side of the window, we see upon first entering the engine room. Inside the room, we find a table upon which is alien epoxy and biogel, and next to them, the Electro Suppressor. This weapon is very different from the regular shock batons. It doesn't do electrical damage. Instead, it has a knockdown effect upon a critical strike, and this knockdown effect works both in and outside of VATS. It also does more base damage than the regular shock baton, dealing 24 damage, bringing its DPS up to 57.7. So essentially the knockdown effect gives us enough time to get in a few more strikes with the thing, which compensates for its lack of electrical damage over time. Next, we'll talk about the new energy rifle offering from Mothership Zeta, the Alien Disintegrator. These are also extremely common. We find them lying on shelves and on the corpses of aliens. The Alien Disintegrator is an amazing weapon. It has a huge magazine capacity, holding 100 rounds before we have to reload. Reloading is a snap. We just push a button on the rifle, and it has pretty low spread, with a spread of 1, while also packing a wallop, dealing 65 base damage and 2 attacks per second, bringing the DPS up to 130. It's moderately expensive to use in VATS with an action point cost of 30, bringing the damage per action point to 2.2. It has a critical chance multiplier of ×2 and deals 50 critical damage. Overall, it's an excellent energy weapon. The spread makes it difficult for long-range sniping, but it's wonderful for medium and short distance. We find a unique version of the Alien Disintegrator inside the weapons lab. To find it, we head to the first firing range, the one with the long hallway where we teleport Brahmin in, and then look to the right. Lying on a shelf is the Destabilizer. The Destabilizer is a unique version of the Alien Disintegrator, but the biggest change is that this is a fully automatic rifle. Because it's fully automatic, its base damage is a bit weaker. It deals only 30 damage compared to the Disintegrator's 65. But because it's automatic, it does 4.5 shots per second compared to the Disintegrator's 2. It also has a much weaker critical chance multiplier because it's automatic, with a critical chance multiplier of only 0.44 compared to the Disintegrator's 2. And it does less critical damage, 20 compared to 50, and it has higher spread, 1.5 spread compared to the Disintegrator's 1. But it does cost fewer action points, costing only 25 compared to the Disintegrator's 30. That said, everything considered, it deals only 1.2 damage per action point compared to the Disintegrator's 2.2, but outside of VATS, it has a damage per second of 135 compared to the Disintegrator's 130. It also has a strange quirk. When used in VATS, even though it's an automatic rifle, it only fires 1 round, which makes no sense as an automatic weapon. So this is really only useful outside of VATS. Next up is the Alien Atomizer, which is a new energy pistol. Like all alien weapons we find on the ship, it uses power modules, but the unique thing about it is that it has 0 spread, meaning that a player with 100 energy weapon skill can fire right on the crosshair. It's also extremely valuable. Weighing only 2 pounds, each one fully repaired is worth 250 caps. It has a base damage of 35, but costs 20 action points, making it, in my opinion, better to use outside of VATS. It has a final DPS of 105, which makes it a pretty deadly pistol. We find a unique version of the atomizer in the game called the Atomic Pulverizer. We find it upon first entering the weapons lab. Crossing a large room, we go through a doorway and then activate a wall-mounted terminal to open the nearby closed door. In this room, we find the Atomic Pulverizer lying on a bottom shelf to the right beneath a Giddy-Up Buttercup, right next to an alien atomizer. It's extremely easy to miss this weapon because it looks exactly like an alien atomizer, and it's sitting right next to one. It deals 37 damage, which is only a few points higher than the atomizer. However, its action point cost is only 12, compared to the alien atomizer's 20. This gives the weapon the distinction of having the second lowest action point cost, tied with the ritual knife from Point Lookout. The only weapon with a lower AP cost is the toy knife, also from Point Lookout, meaning that you can get almost twice as many attacks in with a single bar of AP compared to using the alien atomizer. It also has a critical chance multiplier of ×2 compared to the atomizer's ×1. All of this combined brings the DPS up to 111 compared to the atomizer's 105, and the damage per action point up to 3.1 compared to the atomizer's 1.8. Aside from that, it shares many of the other distinctive features of the atomizer, including its zero spread, which means that this weapon, like the atomizer, has dead-on accuracy. Next up is Paulson's revolver, which we can only get on Paulson's corpse, either by killing him ourselves or allowing him to die during our adventure. Paulson's revolver is a unique 44 Magnum. The unique and weird thing about Paulson's revolver is it shoots multiple projectiles at once. It shoots 9 pellets with each round. Because of this, it has a chance to score a critical hit on enemies outside of VATS 9 different times, making this a potentially devastating weapon for characters with a high critical chance and a high small gun skill. It's also unique in that it's one of the few 44 Magnums in Fallout 3 without a scope. Paulson's revolver has a base damage of 45, 5 times each projectile, 9 projectiles, 45. So in order to get this base damage, each projectile would have to hit. And its DPS is 101.3. This makes it significantly better than the scoped 44 Magnum in the base game, but not quite as good in terms of raw damage and DPS as Blackhawk, the reward we got from doing the quest Agatha's Song, which I covered in a video that you can watch here. Also, since it fires multiple projectiles, it has a much higher spread than any other 44 Magnum, with a spread of 3 compared to a spread of 0.3 with every other Magnum. That said, it is deadly in close range, effectively being a one-handed pistol shotgun. This weapon can't be reverse pickpocketed from him. He actually uses a different non-playable version while alive. This gun only spawns in his inventory when he dies. Next is the new big gun we get from Mothership Zeta, the drone cannon. We find these on the wreckages of the Guardian drones we find all over the ship, making it pretty easy to obtain. The drone cannon shoots a giant ball of energy that basically acts like a grenade, but it's unique in that it bounces first before exploding. We can use the drone cannon to bounce off walls and reach hard to access areas. After firing, the electrical ball detonates after about 3 seconds or so. Even though this is a big guns weapon making use of the big guns perk, each bolt acts a whole lot like an explosive. The base damage of the bolt is 40, but then it does 100 explosive damage, which is highest towards the center of the detonation and diminishes moving away from the center of the detonation. It can do 3.3 attacks per second, bringing its DPS up to 466.7, or 616.7 if we've maxed out our big gun skill. But its real damage is a little bit smaller. If we empty a full clip, assume that each shot hits the target, and if we factor in the time it takes to reload, the DPS drops to about 85.7, or 113.3 with maxed out big guns. Still, it's a pretty devastating weapon. We find a unique version of this weapon called the Drone Cannon XB. We find this in the weapons lab in an experimentation room just before we find the rifle ranges. It's in a room near to the large room where we find a bunch of Earth goods, including some Tesla power armor. To get the Drone Cannon XB, we need to destroy the experimental weapons drone that was shooting at Ramen in this room. We find the XB on their wreckage. The difference between the Drone Cannon XB and the regular Drone Cannon is in the way the electric projectile works. The Drone Cannon lobs these big, explosive electric energy balls that bounce once and then detonate after a few seconds. The Drone Cannon XB works very differently. Instead, the balls of energy detonate upon impact. they don't bounce. Otherwise, the stats of this are almost identical to a drone cannon. Each do 40 damage, have a DPS of 466.7, and do 100 explosive damage. They have a ×1 critical chance multiplier, do 50 critical damage, and cost 30 action points, dealing 4.7 damage per action point. Not very effective and pretty expensive in VATS, but a wonderful gun to use outside of VATS. Next up is what is probably my favorite weapon from this DLC, the MPLX Nova Surge. We find this in the cargo hold. To find it, we have to hack into a terminal that we find sitting on a desk and remotely unlock a floor safe. We find the floor safe embedded in the trash just next to the garbage chute, where we find Brahmin and Yaoguai being dumped into space. The safe is labeled Underwood Safe, and inside we find a note describing the lore about the weapon, some energy cells, and the gun itself, the MPLX Nova Surge. We see that it's a beautiful prototype plasma pistol, but this weapon is way more powerful than a standard plasma pistol. It has a base damage of 80 compared to a plasma pistol's base damage of 25. It also has a higher critical chance multiplier of ×3 instead of a plasma pistol's ×2, and does 75 critical damage, which is 3 times that of a plasma pistol. This brings the DPS of the weapon up to 240 compared to 75 of a plasma pistol, and a final damage per action point of 3.8 compared to a plasma pistol's 1.2. It has the same magazine capacity as a plasma pistol, however the drawback is that each shot from the MPLX Nova Surge consumes 2 energy cells, meaning that effectively we can only get 8 shots off per magazine before we have to reload. It also has less than half the durability of a regular plasma pistol, which makes sense because this is a prototype, and the pistol has a weight problem, as the note said. It's twice as heavy as a regular plasma pistol, weighing 6 pounds instead of 3. Next up is the Samurai Sword. We find it while exploring the maintenance level. It's our reward for clearing it, which we find at the very end on a shelf next to a bunch of first aid kits. Toshiro's Samurai Sword is a completely unique weapon, the only one of its kind in the entire game. It does higher damage than most other swords, dealing 24 raw damage compared to 10 from the Chinese officer's sword. This makes it the second best sword in the game, beat only by Jing Wei's shock sword from Operation Anchorage, which deals 35 raw damage. The shock sword also has an electrical damage over time, which really makes it a superior weapon, having 82.8 DPS compared to the Samurai Sword's 55.4. But where the Samurai Sword shines is in its critical damage. This sucker deals a whopping 40 critical damage, compared to the Shock Sword's 25. It also costs far fewer action points in VATS, 19 compared to the Shock Sword's 28, which means its damage per action point is 2.5, very close to the Shock Sword's 2.9. And it has nearly double the durability of the Shock Sword, 833 compared to 486. So the Samurai Sword is indeed a viable weapon for a melee build. Next up are the Cryo Grenades and Cryo Mines. We get these from Elliot Tokorian after clearing the Cryo Lab with his help. Inside the Cryo Lab, he found a bunch of alien cryogenic technology, which he uses to craft the Cryo Grenades and Cryo Mines. These items were in the game files of the base vanilla game, but they weren't actually added to the world until Mothership Zeta, so they are effectively new weapons we get with this DLC. Both the Cryo Mine and the Cryo Grenade do hardly any damage at all. They do 1 point of damage, but they do freeze enemies for 3 seconds. We only have a brief window of opportunity to get as many of these as possible. Elliot only makes them after clearing the Cryo Lab, and only a handful every 3 hours. Then, once we leave the engineering core and begin our spacewalk, he stops making them forever. Which means we could get a theoretically unlimited supply as long as we never complete the DLC and stay in the engineering core. But realistically, we're only going to get a handful of these. Next is the Alien Captain Sidearm, which we only get after killing the alien captain whom we find on the bridge of Mothership Zeta. On his corpse, we find alien power modules and cells, and the unique weapon, Alien Captain Sidearm. The Alien Captain Sidearm uses alien power modules, not power cells, unlike other alien blasters. Also, unlike alien blasters, it shoots out energy like a shotgun. Every time we pull the trigger, it shoots 6 beams at the cost of 3 rounds. So it does burn through alien power modules. Like the Metal Blaster from the Pit DLC and like Paulson's revolver, each of the 6 energy beams has the chance to land a critical strike on the enemy, which means characters with high luck and high critical chance are likely to land multiple crits with each attack. But this chance only works outside of VATS. Inside of VATS, you can only land 1 critical strike. It does the exact same amount of damage as the alien atomizer, 35, split between 6 beams, but it has way more spread than the alien atomizer, with a spread of whopping 3.0 compared to the alien atomizer's 0. This is, of course, because it's practically a shotgun. And lastly, there's the alien blaster. When we finally beat the DLC and make it back to Earth, we see that the aliens retrieved the alien ship wreckage, but left the corpse of its pilot. We find him lying next to the alien beacon, and on the ground next to him we find a whole bunch of alien power cells and a unique weapon, the alien blaster. The alien blaster was available in the base game of Fallout 3, but after installing Mothership Zeta, we don't get it until after this DLC, so I'm going to cover it as part of the DLC. The alien blaster is one of the most powerful weapons in the game because each shot is a guaranteed critical hit. The critical percent multiplier for this weapon is 100, making it impossible to not land a critical hit. It does electrical damage, like Jingwe's shock sword and the captain's sidearm, and has a base damage of 100, which is huge, much larger than any other weapon we find in this DLC. It has an action point cost of 20, bringing the damage per action point up to 5, deals 100 critical damage, bringing its DPS up to 300. The drawback to this weapon is that it uses alien power cells, a much more rare ammunition. This is why I made such a big deal about finding all of the alien power cells on Mothership Zeta. We can walk away with thousands upon thousands of alien power modules, the ammunition used for all other weapons on the mothership, but there is a maximum of 1,152 alien power cells in the entire game, including all expansions. 362 in the base game, 365 on Mothership Zeta, and 425 with Broken Steel installed. So this weapon is best used for special occasions. Next, we'll talk about armor. Mothership Zeta is a weapons-heavy DLC, but we do find a few cool pieces of armor. The first is the spacesuit that belonged to Colonel Hartigan. He sadly died when we released him from his cryopod. On his body, we find the spacesuit. The spacesuit is a gorgeous little suit, but it's not very practical outside space exploration. The entire suit only has a DR of 1, and despite supposedly protecting us from interstellar radiation, it has no radiation bonus. It is unique, however, in that it has 10 million HP, making it extremely unlikely that we'll ever have to repair it. However, if for some reason we do need to repair it, it can be repaired with a radiation suit or an advanced radiation suit. Since it's a quest item, it's weightless when we find it. However, after the quest, we can keep it, and at that point, it weighs 5 pounds. Next is Paulson's outfit, which we get by killing Paulson and looting it from his corpse, or by reverse pickpocketing it from him. Paulson's outfit is an attractive cowboy getup with a DR of 5, and it grants +1 to charisma, +10 to small guns, and +5 to speech. He also has a sheriff's hat, which grants +1 DR and +1 to perception. Then there's Toshiro Kago's samurai armor. This suit of armor has a stunning DR of 30 and grants us +10 to melee damage and 10 to melee weapons. It weighs 20 pounds. The matching samurai helmet has a DR of 5 and weighs 3 pounds. This suit of armor is one of the best suits in the game for a melee-focused build. You could try to get it without killing him by reverse pickpocketing a higher DR suit of armor onto Toshiro, but it's really difficult, and we're still stealing. Next is Elliot's winterized medic armor. This is a similar suit to the winterized combat armor that we recall from Operation Anchorage, but it is unique. It's clean, telling us that Elliot was abducted before he saw too much combat, and there's a medic symbol on the back. The stats are a little different too. It has the same DR as a winterized combat armor suit with a DR of 32 though it's slightly less durable, but it grants plus 10 to medicine. The matching winterized medic helmet has a DR of 5. We can get the winterized combat armor without killing Elliot or pickpocketing it from him if we bring him with us into the cryo lab. If we do, we can find 2 other suits. Next up is General Chase's overcoat, which we find in a locker labeled Military Footlocker while exploring the maintenance level. It's in that same room with the vaulted ceiling where we got attacked by aliens who shot at us from the roof of the nearby pod. We remember General Chase. He played a prominent role in the Operation Anchorage simulation. He wore a stunning jacket in that DLC. I remember admiring it, and it looks like we now have our own copy. It has a DR of 20, which is pretty decent for a clothing item, and grants plus 1 to charisma, plus 10 to small guns, and plus 5 to speech. It's quite an attractive coat. It looks a lot like Colonel Autumn's uniform, only it's got a winterized Operation Anchorage coloring. That's it for armor. We'll move on to consumables and miscellaneous items. Let's talk about food. First up is the new alien worm food. This disgusting-looking entree is one of 3 new food items we find here. Since it does not come from Earth, it doesn't give us rags, but it only heals 5 hit points. That said, since it has no adverse effects, we might as well chow down on these suckers when we find them. Then there's the complimentary alien squid food, which is exactly like the tentacle food, healing plus 5 hit points with no negative status effect. But the exciting new aid item is alien biogel, which we found on the corpses of aliens and scattered all over the ship on shelves and tables. The biogel heals between 10 and 30 hit points based on our medicine skill level, but the downside is that consuming the biogel gives us a negative status effect called a biochemical anomaly. These anomalies are random. In this instance, I got -1 intelligence, but it could be -1 perception, endurance, agility, or plus 5 radiation damage per second, or it could be a good status effect, healing radiation or hit points, or giving us a temporary stat boost of plus 2 to strength or 2 to agility. It's good to collect as many of these as possible because later on we get to turn these into adapted biogel. After we release Elliot Tikorian from his cryopod, we discovered that he has the ability to transform alien biogel into adapted biogel. We can simply have him convert them in stacks of 10 by talking to him. Adapted biogel looks just like alien biogel, but instead of restoring only 10 hit points, adapted biogel restores 80 hit points. And the amount it restores increases based on your medicine skill. With 100 in medicine, an adapted biogel will heal 150 hit points. However, like the alien biogel, the adapted biogel also has a 50% chance to inflict the Lone Wanderer with some random status effect. It draws from the same list of status effects as the alien biogel. Even when the potential for a negative side effect is considered, the adapted biogel is by far one of the best healing items in the game, healing even more than a Stimpack. At 100 medicine skill, the most a Stimpack could ever heal is 90. The next items we find all over the ship, sometimes on alien corpses, but most often on shelves and tables scattered around the ship. These are the alien crystals, which have no use